What is the intention here? What is the specific ask that Ukraine has to deliver on for all of this to be lifted?
Margaret, I believe, and thanks for the question. I believe that the push is to get them to engage in diplomatic activities, give us their, for lack of a better term, their term sheet, to get this to the table and say this is an approach to going forward. We know that both sides are going to have disagreements and agreements as well. So I think it's like a forcing function that you want to get there. When I was in Kyiv 2 weeks ago, I was very clear to President Zelenskyy the outcome if we didn't have a signed agreement. I was blunt, unclear that this was a thing that could have happened. Sometimes, and I will be very honest with you, some people always misread the room with President Trump. And you better understand when you play with President Trump where he's going to and what he's, when he goes for some type of a deal. And what happened is President Zelenskyy, he misread the room last Friday. And I think he misread what I was telling him when I was in Kyiv as well.
To constrain Ukraine's ability to target and hit Russian forces. This pressure really seems to be directly impacting potentially what they can do on the battlefield.
Yeah, but this is one of those, very candidly, they brought it on themselves, the Ukrainians. What I mean by that, look, when we were in the Oval Office last week on Friday, and I'll kind of give you the background a little bit of it, is when we talked with President Zelenskyy before that meeting, there were 13 U.S. senators at Hay Adams. And we said, okay, this is like stage managing. This is what you want to say. It's basically going to come in. We have this precious metals deal. You're going to sign the deal. You're going to have lunch, have a press conference, exit stage right, and you're good to go. We continue to go. What happened became a very combative press conference that went on for almost, 50 minutes. That caught everybody a little bit by surprise. And I was, right there. And I think what happened is they said, wait a second, this is not what we thought this was going to be. You don't negotiate peace discussions in public. You don't try to challenge the President of the United States in the Oval Office that, in fact, you need to side with me and not the Russians. You don't become an independent interlocutor if you look at something like that. And he was forewarned. It's not like President Zelenskyy was not made aware that this is what we wanted out of the Ukrainians, to basically say, go here, it sets the next stage, it opens up, it goes forward. So I blame the President of the United States at all. I think he made a decision, as he is the Commander-in-Chief under Article 2, Section 2, that he wanted to do. And it's sort of like saying, okay, if this is where you want to go, we're going to play it real politics.
What is the concrete effect of the abrupt end of military resupply to Ukraine and the end of the provision of intelligence and targeting data? The Ukraine may take some time for their military supplies to run down, but the cutoff in intel does have an immediate effect. In your judgment, what's been the effect to date, and what's going to be the effect if it continues for another week or 2 or 3?
The best way I can describe it is sort of like hitting a mule with a 2x4 across the nose. You got their attention, and it is significant, obviously, because of the support that we give. Okay, but it's one way to sort of get your attention to do it. But it's a pause. It's not an end, and it's then up to them to do it. And I know that the allied partners that has anything to do with U.S. support as well are kind of paused as well. So anytime as a military person, anytime you displace assets, primarily from the intelligence community, it's pretty significant.